John Dramani Mahama. His Excellency, you are welcome. The introduction has already been done. If permission is granted, Mr. President, we have not forgotten about the numerous developmental projects that you have undertaken during your tenure of office. Bolga Boku Road, you started it. We are grateful to you. You secure funds to complete the regional hospital. We are grateful to you. Community day schools, Bolga had their share, started at Kampibugo. We are grateful to you. Afaking of the roads in town. It is during your tenure of office that we have seen Bolga being lifted as a municipality because of the afaking. It was a municipality by mouth, but once the afaking of the roads has been done, we now can say Bolga is a municipal status. Mr. President, we have over 13 divisional chiefs and over 80 sub-chiefs in Bolga, and that is why they are here this afternoon or this evening to welcome you. And we are all present, about 25 of them are present this evening. And our religious leaders are also present here. We are grateful to you for your coming to interact with us. But Mr. President, permit me to also continue saying that Bolga and its environs was connected to the national grid, and we will never forget, because all the communities in Bolga, with the exception of Serugo, that has not gotten light. Mr. President, given the nod, come 7th January 2025, let Serugo also see the light. His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, you came to Shumbrungo to see the construction of the airport. Up to now, the place has been abandoned. We believe and hope, given the nod, Bolga people will be open to the international world. Because when the airport is finally completed, business is going to be booming. And economic activities, our poverty level will be reduced. His Excellency, we are requesting that please, the airport, do not let the place go waste, because economic tourism has been destroyed. The place has been compacted, leveled the graveling, and put in the betterment, and an aircraft can come and land there. And we'll be very grateful to move to wherever we want to move to. Mr. President, in fact, Honorable Azikadongo has already enumerated some of the achievements and some of the things that we are expecting you to do. Bolga constituency Central has over 76,000 voters, and I believe the 2024 election there will be more. I'm sure we are getting to 1 million. We deserve another constituency. Dividing Bolga Central into two, Bolga Central and Bolga West. I believe come 2025 January, creating constituency, think about Bolga being divided into two. He has already mentioned that we needed a municipal hospital. I won't go there. His Excellency, the youth of Bolga will be more than excited, because the only region and the capital do not have a sports stadium. Is it a curse? I'm not sure it is a curse. With your able leadership, and I know you have the capacity, and Bolga will have a stadium. Because of time constraint, already we have a shining star, that is Honorable Azikadongo, who has been articulating our views in Parliament. We will want to see him articulating the views of Bolga Central. Honorable Azikadongo will know you are a shining star, not only Bolga, not only Upper East, but the entire country. But we want to see more of the issue of Bolga being presented in Parliament. We are grateful to you. We are honored to have this visit. Thank you, and may God bless you. Tepozo, Tiyaur Mamosaka, 7 December, Inshallah, Bakabo, Tepozo.
Boy, I know. Tepaziala, Tewa, Federation of Disability, Bazare. Federation of Disability Organization, Bazare, Yazare. Tana Kabola, Tibeniame, Nerahan Wakala, Lare 2 minutes, Tibeniame. Next step, la Muslim community, Tuayi Abuba Sadiq, Tawana, Deke Apote report so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Abuba Sadiq. Tibeniame, time like 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ba'd. His Excellency Mr. John Dramani Mahama, all protocol observed. We have been given just a minute to submit our proposals. I begin by saying that our proposals are going to stem on 2 things. One, the records that we have about things that you've done in terms of developing the country, which include Bolgatanga. And 2, your statement with regards to this current election that is getting bedeviled by religion. You made a statement, powerful statement, and it's based on that we're going to make our submissions. First of all, from your records, which is obvious that you are development conscious, would wish that as you consciously decided to arrested some of our problems as Muslims by giving us scholarships that sent women to Cuba to study and come and attend to our women because of your understanding of the dynamics of the Muslim community. We would ask that if Allah should see you through this election and you become the next president, you should think also about giving us the infrastructure within the Zongo communities where such will come and actually work. Because they've come and we are not seeing them. We would wish that you increase and also provide us infrastructure like special clinics that will take care of those dynamics you understood as and added it to your policy. Number 2, we are proud of you and your government for 2 things. Before you lost this election, you commissioned a training college for Muslims in Wenchi. You also assured us that Arabic language is going to become examinable at basic level and the SHS. And these have come to pass. We would wish that such should not end. But the e-schools that you have, which are day schools, if you could consciously dot them in the Zongo communities to ease and also open up doors for Muslims to have a structure of their own with the rules that are Islamically friendly, so that we can have much of SS within the Zongo community to help the development of the country. Thirdly, we would wish that as Muslims, already some are with you, that you picked because of the merits they have and the qualities you've seen in them. But we would wish that you extend it by consciously dealing with our Ummah and making us part of the governance that is coming 2024 and not passive. We should be seen as being with you, so that with those ambassadors from the Muslim community, you'll be understanding us, you'll be attending to their problems, if only they are with you. Your Excellency, like you rightly said, what Muslims need is not a Muslim president. What we need is a Muslim-friendly environment in a country. items that I've enumerated, in addition to other things, even though we are well accommodated by our brethren in the Christendom, we would wish that they stretch more hands or become more friendly by accepting us the way we are, because we find it difficult living as Muslim women within the country in terms of our hijab in various institutions, especially public institutions. We would wish that you make sure these are realities so that we don't fake coexistence, but we really make a real coexistence as Muslims and other non-religious bodies. Your Excellency, those schools that you commissioned, especially the university, have started producing Arabic scholars. Unfortunately, the embargo on employment has made them packed in the Zongo without jobs. And also, I don't know whatever the policy is, those who have gone on retirement cannot be replaced. So it's almost weakening the purpose for which you came to our aid. So we wish that come 2024, you look into that and make sure that these Arabic scholars that you have facilitated in getting a university where they are produced locally would get jobs within the country and make a meaning to your lives, and Ghana will be an icon in terms of religious coexistence. Lastly, Your Excellency, all other organizations have this, but I would wish that you make it part of the package that you had for women, that you said that you would like to support them. If you could add to single parents in terms of the Zongo community, most of the widows are living in a life that is, so if you can create, like you said, you're going to create a special fund for women, if you could do some for widows within the Zongo community, so that those who are single women, single parents, especially in the Zongo community, that have to take care of children in private schools, and it's not easy for them, making some of them a problem within the community. If something can be done to rescue that situation, it will be helping the Zongo community. Much we have, but this, I believe, if you come to our aid, inshallah, we'll have a brighter Muslim community that will complement your effort in developing Ghana. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Boya nu pa abe amoya te paziala te wayi Christian Council, Apostle Benjamin Atebila tawa ana deke apotin report so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and your able team, God richly bless you for coming to our land. I am Apostle Benjamin Atibila, representing the Christian community. We do have some few concerns, just as our MP mentioned earlier, and our traditional leaders equally said. We have seen that you've done a lot of things for other places. We have Kotokraba. We saw that you gave them a befitting market. Bolgatanga deserve one. We deserve one. And we honestly want to urge you that next year, when the North is giving you, you will give us a befitting market in Bolgatanga. We've spoken about the stadium, but we're looking at a modern stadium, not just any stadium, because we have seen some stadiums they've put up that don't last, but we want a modern stadium that people can fly from Accra to come and play football in Bolgatanga. Also, we want to put it before you that the Palugu Dam that we were scammed, we are beckoning on you that when you take over power, you work on that dam for us, which will create a lot of employment for most youth in the northern sector of Ghana. We have seen that our road from Bolga to Zwarongo towards Boku, the road has been done, but most of the bridges are left unattended to. We are also putting it before you that as soon as you take over power, we want that that the road will be completed and that the bridges are fixed so that we can travel to Boku easily without any trouble. Your Excellency, we are looking at LGBTQ bill that was presented to the president, which up to date nothing has been said. They are playing games with it because it is now at Supreme Court, and this one is saying this and that one is saying that. We are begging you. We fear God, and we don't want the curses of God to come upon this country and upon our children. As soon as you take over power, sign that bill for us. Sign the bill for us. Lastly, what I want to talk about is our airport. The last time you came, I did mention it here, and today I want to say it again. Bolga deserves an airport. Please, when you come, make sure that airport is operational. Thank you very much, and God richly bless you. Thank you.
Ghana Federation of Disability Organization Tabawana Dikeba Potero so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Mark Akurbire. Toyi to so Mark Akurbire from Ghana Federation of Disability Organization.
Mike.
Nothing. So, please, 2 minutes.
Ayazu, Ayaza, His Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, and your entourage, former ministers of state, members of parliamentarians, executives of the party. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great honor for us as people with disabilities to be part of this August occasion. Previously, persons with disabilities were considered as second-class, lower persons in the country. Society described begging as professional work for persons with disabilities. Long ago, people with disabilities were marginalized and stigmatized at the same time. Lo and behold, today we have come to join this August occasion. First of all, we want to congratulate you for your bid again to take control of the affairs of this particular country called Ghana. We know that there is no doubt that whatever information or request we are going to put before you will be materialized, because we have seen it in you previously by appointing one of us as a Minister of State in charge of Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs. His Excellency, as we rightly said, the Disability Act of 2006, Act 715, that you took part in debating and the passage of it have not been fully implemented. Hence, a lot of gaps seen by persons with disabilities in the country. There is no condition about it. Let it be fully implemented. I will not use the word if. I'm saying let it be implemented fully. Secondly, His Excellency, persons with disabilities in the Upper East region will want you to listen to us very well, because we speak for the rest of the country. The first one has to do with the increment of the 3% allocation of the District Assembly Command Fund for persons with disabilities should be increased to 5%. The second one has to do with there is a rehabilitation center for persons with disabilities to be trained in the Upper East region. That particular rehabilitation center has been neglected. You go there, it is in the state of deplorable. Even feeding of the learners is to be borne by parents, which discourages parents not to enroll their disabled students or learners to acquire skills and knowledge in order to be independent. Let it be part of the school feeding program. The other issue that we want to tell you is our constructions, the inaccessibility of the public buildings is now getting out of hand. Sometimes you go to duty bearer, but you can't get to the person. The person is on top of a building. Imagine somebody who uses a wheelchair. How can the person get access to such a duty bearer to lay his or her complaint with? We will want all public buildings to be accessible to all persons with disabilities. Another matter that we want you to consider as president is that we have witnessed a lot of road constructions during your era, but you didn't take into consideration the special pavements for persons with disabilities. Take that into consideration so that the movement of persons with disabilities will be freely, independently, and easily for us. Lastly, we will want to take this opportunity once again to appeal to you that as we are as persons with disabilities, some of us were like you. The disability is in the slot of each and every one of us. So, maintain peace and law and order in the country. Some of us became disabled as a result of conflict. It is unnecessary. Let's see what we can do to maintain peace during your era. We wish you all the best. As you are coming next, maybe you'll be coming at a time that will be mentioning some of us to endorse some of your appointees to the various offices to implement your policies. Thank you.
Fire new boy, fire new boy, fire new boy. Choboy, choboy, choboy. Ayazu. At this juncture, I'll seize this singular honor to call on our Member of Parliament, the Honorable Isaac Adongo, to come and introduce to us our father. The Member of Parliament, Honorable Isaac Adongo Adoko, Tawana Dike Tisola, Palato. Ayabu.
Ezu, today I have the singular honor to introduce to you the man of the moment. The man who has seen it all. The man who has the country at heart. The man whose record speaks for itself. He was born a young man to the people of Bole Bamboy. He served as their Member of Parliament for 3 terms. He became a Deputy Minister for Communication and later the Substantive Minister for Communication, who spearheaded the transformation of our telecom sector. For those of you who are aware, we used to use fixed lines. It was this man I'm going to introduce to you who has made it possible to use the cellular phones that you call the mobile phones when he was the Minister for Communications. He became the Vice President of the Republic, and by strange circumstances he left his house to go and work as a Vice President and return home the President of the Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the next President of the Republic of Ghana on the 7th of December 2025, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Ghana, attention!
Thank you very much. First, let me express my regret for keeping you this long. It has been a very grueling day. We had to go all the way to Yagaba and Kubori to start the campaign there. Because of the peculiar geographic nature, Yagaba Kubori is a bit cut off from the northeast, so it's easier to access it through Fumbisi and Sandima, and so we started from there and gradually we got here at this time. We're very sorry for the late start of this program. Thank you for this interaction and thank you for your patience in waiting for us. We still have the rally to do, and so I'm going to be very brief. I'll touch on a few of the issues that you raised so that we'll wrap up and then we'll go and join the party supporters for the rally. There's no doubt that NDC believes in persons with disability, because we were the first to appoint a person with disability as a minister of state in the Republic of Ghana. And if you remember, Dr. Seydou Dana was the Minister of Chieftaincy Affairs, and he was a visually impaired person, and he worked as minister and performed his duties creditably. And so we believe in the fact that disability is not inability, and we'll continue to work to make sure that we create opportunities for our persons living with disability. With regards to the District Assembly's Common Fund, it is not about the percentage. Let me explain to you what has happened. When NDC was in office, the amount of money ceded to the Common Fund was 7.5% of government revenue. The law says government will cede between 5 to 8% of government revenue to the District Assembly's Common Fund. So NDC raised the bar till we got to 7.5%. So it meant that the quantum of money coming into the District Assembly's Common Fund was higher. And these persons with disability got 3% of the 7.5%. And so they were getting more money. You know what MPP has done? They've reduced the 7.5% to the minimum, to 5%. And so it means that 3% of the 5% is smaller. That's what they've done. And apart from that, the District Assembly's Common Fund doesn't come. They don't release it. It's in arrears. And so persons with disability are not getting their 3%. Apart from that, when the 3% comes, because there's no money, the district chief executives use the money that should have gone to persons with disability for other urgent things. And so what I can assure you is that when we come, we're going to raise the District Assembly's Common Fund back to 7.5%. So that your 3% would attract a higher amount of accumulation than currently. And apart from that, we will ring fence it. Because it's not ring fenced, the district chief executives can use it for other purposes. But when we ring fence it, it means when the money comes, the 3% must go into a special account, and the district chief executive cannot touch it. It must go to the persons with disability in order that they implement the programs that they want to implement. The Disability Act was passed years ago, and we are behind in terms of its implementation. And if we implement it fully, it will create more opportunities for our persons with disability. One of the things was a grace period was given for all public buildings to be made disability friendly. I think that we should start enforcing the law, and that any public building that is not disability friendly, the head of the particular agency must be penalized until he is able to make it disability friendly. Because all our citizens should be able to access public buildings. And so this is a public building. There must be a ramp, so that if somebody is coming with a wheelchair, he can go up the ramp. And so I can assure you, when we come, we'll work with you to make sure that we enforce it. We would ask the persons with disability to also help us by reporting specific public buildings that are not disability friendly, so that we can enforce the law and make sure that they do it. Our rehabilitation centers are poorly equipped. We want to turn them not only use them not only as rehabilitation centers, but use them as technical and vocational centers, so that persons with disability are not going there for rehabilitation. They are going there to learn a skill, and we'll give them the tools to start work. So when you finish the rehabilitation center, which we will reconvert to technical and vocational centers, if you do dressmaking, we'll give you a sewing machine so that you can go and set up your own dressmaking business. If you do hairdressing, we'll give you the dryers and the rollers so that you can go and start your own hair salon and do your own business and be able to look after yourself. And so those are some of the things that we have. There are many other issues that were raised. The pastors raised the LGBTQ. You all know what happened. 2 cases were filed in court. And definitely the reason for filing it was to delay the president having to take a decision. But the constitution tells the president what to do. LGBTQ bill comes, it's passed by parliament unanimously, nobody objected to it. So when it goes to the president has 2 things to do. He can either assent to it, or he can refuse to assent to it, but give the reasons why he does not want to assent to it, and send it back to parliament for reconsideration. Or there's a third one, he can refer it to the Council of State for advice. I think these are things that the president could have done. If he didn't know what to do, he could have given it to the Council of State, say, look at this and advise me. Of course, there are some aspects of the bill that need to be looked at. For instance, it says that if you know somebody who is engaged in LGBTQ and you don't report him, you yourself have committed a crime. And so some of those parts really need to be looked at. But I think that the president should be bold and go back to parliament and say, look, I need you to look at these clauses. Unfortunately, he's not doing that. They are using a very cunning way to push it to the next president. So they've gone to tie it down in court. The first case, which was the case with the speaker, they sat on it quickly and threw it out. But the one that puts an injunction on parliament giving the bill to the president and files an injunction against the president signing it, that one is still in court. Now the courts have gone on break. They are not coming back till October. And I know in October they will play football with it again until 7th January, and then it will pass on to the next government. But even what happens is, the bill will die, the act will die with, it's a bill, it's not been signed. So the bill will die with the life of this parliament. Because any bill that is not passed dies. If it's going to be done, it means it has to be reintroduced again. And I think that that is the intention of this government. They just want to push it till the end of the life of parliament so that they don't have to deal with it. So there are many roads that we need to work on. The Bolga to Mu to Wa road is important. I've been talking of what we call the ring road. There's a northern ring road. We should be able to leave Bolga in the morning. Within 24 hours, we'll drive to Wa, drive from Wa to Sola, turn left, drive to Damango, and then to Fufulso Junction, turn left, get to Tamale, turn right, go to Yendi, turn left, go to Gushagu, Nakwanduri, Kulungungu. Go to Nakwanduri, Kulungungu, and then turn left again to Boko and back to Bolga. You should be able to do that within 24 hours. Some segments of the road are good. For instance, from Sola to Fofoso is good. Fofoso to Tamale is good. Tamale to Yendi is good. Yendi to Gushegu is good. The stretches that are not there are the Nakpanduri stretch to Kulungungu. Boko to Bolga is reasonably good, except for the bridges and the other parts that are left. When we come, we'll complete them. And then the Bolga to Wa is not good. I came to Bolga from Wa, and I know the state of that road. And so the Northern Ring Road, I call it, is one of the roads that is going to receive our attention when we come into government. We secured money under the GCAP to renovate the Via Dam so that we could extend dry season farming for our farmers. Unfortunately, this government delayed in using that money, and then eventually they decided to divert the money. So instead of using it for the Via Dam, they diverted it into planting for food and jobs. And so the Via Dam is still a priority because we don't want our young people to keep drifting to the south. We want them to be able to stay here. And because the north has only one season for agriculture, and that is 6 months, for the other 6 months of the year, our farmers are sitting and doing nothing because they don't have access to water. But if we rehabilitate the Via Dam, they will stay and work here. We don't want our daughters and our young men to go and be pushing trucks in Accra and doing kayayo. We want them to stay here and work. So we believe in empowering our people here and preventing them from going to the south to do menial jobs, so that you have to go and build kayaye hostels for them there. If we want to build kayaye hostels to provide people with skills, we must build them here so that our young girls here get the skills here and they don't go to the south. Of course, everybody knows the story of the Poalugu Dam. It was a lot of fanfare. It was almost a $1 billion project. The sword was cut in 2019, and the president and the vice president were all there, a lot of fanfare. Unfortunately, you should go and see what happened. $12 million, almost $12 million was paid to the contractor for nothing. They say it was for mobilization. But if you go to the site, there's nothing there. And so $12 million of our money has been given free to somebody to spend. If we come, we will continue the project, but we'll audit and investigate it first. And if anybody has caused financial loss, we will deal with the person. The Bolga Hospital, we designated as a regional hospital. And I got the money for phase 1. We finished phase 1. We got the Saudi fund to fund phase 2 and phase 3. The money was disbursed for phase 2, and so the buildings and the structures were done. Phase 3 is the equipment. It was supposed to be fully equipped. Unfortunately, because MPP overborrowed and we went into debt restructuring, it looks like the rest of the money we are not going to be able to get it. And so we'll look for funds or a grant. I can go to Saudi Arabia and go to the king and beg him and tell him they should give us the money as a grant so that we can come and equip the Bolga Regional Hospital and our people can get good health care. With Stadia in 2020, we indicated in our manifesto that all regions that do not have modern sports stadiums will be given one. We still stand by that. All the regions that don't have modern sports stadiums will be giving one. We'll prioritize it. We know the economy is in a mess, but we would have a sense of priority. We will choose the projects that have the best impact because we need sports talents. Sports is a means of employing the young people. There are many talented people here in volleyball, in athletics, in boxing, in football. If we have a modern sports stadium, they can practice there, and we'll find some of the Azuma Nelsons for boxing. We'll find some of the Michaelasians here in Bolga. And so we think a sports stadium is important. With regards to the markets, we believe in building markets. We built a lot of markets across the whole country. You know the KJTR market in Kumasi. We built the Asawasi market. We built the Asokwa market, the Atonsu market, the Ho market. There are so many markets that we have built because it leads to economic progress. Because people come and exchange goods and services and money circulates within the society. And so we'll look at the Bolga market and build a modern market for Bolga so that it can be worth its status as a municipality. We chose the site for the airport, and we're still committed to the airport, because if people have to fly to Accra, they have to wake up early in the morning and drive like crazy to Tamale to be able to catch the flight. But if we had an airport here, we could do both Tamale and Bolga flights. The flight will land in Tamale, drop Tamale passengers, take on passengers who are going to Accra, land in Bolga, drop Bolga passengers, take on passengers who are going to Accra, and fly straight back to Accra. And so it's something that is practical, and it's something that we will pursue. Arabic instructors, we have opened a lot of Islamic basic schools and Islamic secondary schools. The challenge is getting enough Arabic instructors. And so we try to increase the number of colleges of education that give instruction in Arabic. And if you remember what you refer to, the Wenchi one, it's called the Al Farouk College of Education. We absorbed it into the public system. And we started 8 projects immediately. Administration block, hostel, dining hall, so many projects, 8 projects. It was one of the institutions that got the biggest number of projects. Unfortunately, when we left office on 7th January 2017, where the projects reached is where they stopped and have still since not continued. I promise that when we come, we're going to take an inventory of all abandoned projects, and we're going to prioritize them. Every year we'll put something in the budget to finish abandoned projects, and Al Farouk is one of the colleges that is going to get money to finish all those projects. Leadership of a country doesn't have anything to do with religion. It has nothing to do with the person's religion. And that is why I said Ghana does not need a Christian or a Muslim president. Ghana needs a president who is fair and just to everybody. Because once you are elected as president, you represent everybody in your country, including the Muslims, the Christians, the traditional African religions. Everybody is your responsibility. And that is why I said religion must not come in when we look at these things. A president must be just and fair. And so even though I'm a Christian, when the institutions were saying that our girls cannot wear hijab in certain schools, I said no. Our constitution says that Ghanaians shall be free to follow any religion, and it also says they shall be free to express it. It doesn't only say they are free to be part of any religion. It says they are free to be part of any religion, and they are free to express their religion. And so a Christian student can wear a cross. There's nothing wrong with it on his neck. A Muslim girl can wear her hijab. There's nothing wrong with it. Because all of us we are united in our diversity. Again, in some hospitals they said the Muslim nurses cannot wear their hijabs. And I said it's not fair to say that, because we have Catholic hospitals and we have Catholic sisters, Roman Catholic sisters, who are nurses, and they wear their habits and their thing to hospital, and there's nothing wrong with it. And so we must treat our people fairly, and I'm that kind of president who will treat our people fairly and make sure that the welfare of all our people is taken care of. And so I've touched on a few of the things you raised. The night is fast spent. I'll leave it there. I'll just introduce our member of parliament, who is our parliamentary candidate to you, and I'll raise his hand so that you know that he's the one that we have accepted as our parliamentary candidate. And it's my hope that because of the things you are saying we should do for you, I would need a majority in parliament, because anytime the president has to do anything, he has to go for the appropriation from parliament. And if you don't have a majority in parliament, it makes it very difficult. And so if you vote for me, I expect that you vote for Isaac Adongo Isaac is one of our young rising stars. When it comes to finance and economy, he is at that level. And so he is going to be important if we are to turn this economic crisis around. And so your duty is to elect him. My duty is to put him somewhere where he can help to turn our economic fortunes around. And so I raise his hand. I give to you Honorable Isaac Adongo. Thank you very much, and God richly bless you.